Voy a reír, voy a bailar, vivir mi vida, la 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 la. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a video that I have been asked to make on what is my first business. And this is a story of how I made my first $100,000. Now, to preface this, is that from 2012 to 2016, I was in the military, in the United States Air Force, and when I got out in 2016, I had a couple grand to my name. I had gotten out in December of 2016. I started school at a community college in January of 2017. My goal was to be an X-ray technician. I figured that my time spent as a veterinarian assistant before the military, I was very good at taking X-rays. I was like, okay, it should be an easy transition from one to the other, make a little more money on the human side, and in like 10 years, I could make 90 grand a year. Something like that. And I got into school and I hated it. I'd never gone to school before, obviously, high school, but I hated it, every single part of it. Even though I was good, I made the dean's list, I got everything out of the way, but I just was not happy. And I was like, I would rather work in a warehouse. I would rather destroy my back. I'll go back in the military. I'll go to contracting. I'll do whatever. Because you could make six figures contracting. When I say contracting, not like a contractor for houses. I mean like we're in the military. Based on your previous skills, I'll put you, get a job wherever. Corvallis, DynCorp, Blackwater. But I go and I'm working with my friend Dean. And he gives me a job, like with him running wires, just for extra income while I'm going to school. And it takes me to this place, and there's a bunch of numbers on the board. It's like, Dean, what do they do here? And this is the office where you guys see. That this is where it all started. And he said, well, they sell money. I'm like, what? So I got an interview there. He put in a good word for me. I completely nailed the interview, just saying, like, I will work my face off. I'll do whatever you need to do. And it's really just, it's loans. It is basically, you take these business owners that because they don't qualify for bank loans. To qualify for a bank loan, you need not perfect credit, but you definitely need like over 750, like maybe 770, and you need to, because again, banks don't want to lend because of the housing bubble in 08, 09, and then you had the COVID crash in 2020. They lost a lot of money. I know because I lost a lot of money, and they're very strict on lending. You have to have really good credit, a lot of times collateral. And a lot of these business owners that are waiting to get paid, they just don't have money to continue to get more jobs because they have to wait 30 or 60 or 90 days in order to get paid on the last job that they completed. So they have a bunch of money they're waiting on. They need more money to pay their guys and to buy materials for this next job that they're doing. And they can't get money from a bank because they get credit cards and they do what's best for their business. They use what money they have to pay their people, buy all this material on credit cards, Home Depot, wherever, and then banks will give them money, say, no, your credit utilization is too high, you're too high of a risk. That is not fair. So what I do is I go over these bank statements and I say, like, no, you run a good business. Your credit's down because of this, this, and this. I'll give you money. Me and my friends will give you money, like, and we'll loan it to them. But because it's high risk, and because a lot of these people, some of them just don't pay their bills, and they default. They take your money and they do not pay it back. So you have to be very selective on what you do. Like I said, it's very high risk. You can put in 5-10 grand and you could never see one penny of it. But because it's high risk, you get a higher interest rate. You ever see those car dealerships that give military? Oh, you know what? You're military. You get a guaranteed paycheck. You can afford this $30,000 Charger. You can afford this, this, and this, and they charge them like 28%, which I don't think you should do to military. But it is legal, and that's what I do. It's high risk. They can't get the money from anywhere else. But I make sure that they can make money with the money. If they cannot make money with the money that I'm giving them, I do not do it. Partly because they're not going to pay back, and partly because that's just not fair to them, that it doesn't work out. So what I did was I took any type of commissions or sales that I got, and I put everything in there. I was living in a very not good, it's a one bedroom, just a room, and I skimped on everything. I did not go out. I was eating on a couple dollars a day, and I was just putting everything into this business because I knew the potential of it. And I did not go back to school. I got the job in May, opened up my own business like a couple weeks after that because I saw the potential of this. And, in August, I made like $8,000 that month, and I was like, oh, I'm not going back. So again, if you want to do this, find someone that does cash advance, find someone that does, high risk lending, and say like, hey, can I get a job? Can I intern? Whatever. And do that, because that is how I went in May of 2017 with next to nothing to October of 2019 with $100,000 in net worth. I went from nothing, and this is not like saying like, oh, I made $100,000, $50,000 a year. No, I was paying rent and I was paying bills, and I made an additional $100,000 on top of that of net worth. And that was my first 100. It took 2 years, and then it took less than 2 years to be able to double and triple, and whatever. Now, and I'll go over this in another video, but I did that because I worked my face off. I was working so much. A lot of the people that, I'm not a good salesman. I'm not. A lot of the people that are there before me that are much more talented than I am, I was making as much or more than them just because I outworked them. Because when you're hungry like that and you just are doing anything to make it work, that's what you do. When I started my Pokemon business, why I thought better than a lot of other people, it's because as soon as someone bought a card from me, they got it shipped that day or the next day or the next business day. If they bought it on Saturday and I can't get it until Monday, that's what I did. And through that, when I made that business last year and I put a lot of money into that, my net worth increased so much from, the 100-something thousand that it was to around 400,000 as of right now. And with this game, like I said, I predict that before the end of the year, we could be millionaires for Earth 2. For anyone that is playing Earth 2, could be millionaires, even if you put in 20 grand. Again, if you put in, last year in December, yeah, definitely. But, like I did, I put a couple grand in. There's a potential so much there. But outside of that, that's how I made my original first 100,000. That is how I will continue to build on top of that. And if Earth 2 wasn't a thing, if YouTube wasn't a thing, if I was just doing the high risk lending and Pokemon, I would still probably be a millionaire by 36. I'm 30 right now, maybe 35. And that's conservative. Conservatively, like I said, when I get 30% a year, when I went over the why to not buy a house, because I can get 30% of my money at that job. Now, granted, you do have a relatively high default rate because I'm very good at risk and data analysis, which is what has helped me in not only the high risk lending, but in stocks, Pokemon, and Earth 2, is I know a good deal when I know these fantastic setups that is like, oh, this is perfect. I'm very good at it. That's why I hope a lot of other people make money. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. I've helped a lot of my friends make a lot of money with it as well, with Tesla, with going into certain Pokemon cards, and with these deals. My friend Kim, my friend Mike, my friend John, so hey, they gave me money to syndicate, to put into deals, and they got back, pretty much what I get, minus a fee just for my time. Yeah. So, and anyone that has any questions, please comment down below. If you want any further explanation of it, I'll answer it in the comments or the next video. Again, if you don't want to wait for a long, if you don't want to wait for a certain amount of time, okay, I have that Patreon option for $100 a month. I'll give you my cell phone number, call or text, and I'll answer right away. But I love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And smash that like button. I love you all. Bye.